The stars were silent. In the far edge of the Milky Way, where light itself moved slowly, a single human ship drifted through the darkness. Its name was Aurora 7, and inside it, only two beings were awake, Captain Ray Carter and his companion Unit 9, a battle robot older than the ship itself. The ship's engines whispered like a tired heartbeat. For weeks they had been flying without a signal, without a word from command. Ray's eyes were heavy, his face rough from months of cold sleep. He stared through the cracked glass of the cockpit, watching distant stars fade like dying candles. Unit 9 stood beside him, its metal body dented from old battles. One red eye flickered softly as it scanned the control screens. Still nothing on the scanner, the robot said in a dry, mechanical voice. Silence. Like every other day, Ray sighed. I'd take noise over silence. Silence means everyone's gone. Then it happened. A sound broke through the quiet, a deep pulse that made the lights flicker. Her signal, not just random noise. It was a message. Ray's heart jumped. He leaned forward, pressing buttons rapidly. Source? Unknown, Unit 9 replied. Coordinates? Outside mapped space. This signal shouldn't exist. The sound came again, clearer this time. Her voice, human but distorted by time. If you're hearing this, humanity's last hope is still alive. Ray froze. Rewind that. Unit 9 replayed it. The same message repeated, filled with static, yet the voice felt desperate, almost humanly afraid. Ray turned to the robot. Who could send this? Humanity's last hope? That's not protocol talk. Analyzing, Unit 9 said. Language pattern matches. 300-year-old Earth code. This signal is from before the Great War. Ray frowned. That's impossible. That war wiped everything in this sector. The robot's red eye flickered again. Captain, impossible is just another word humans use before doing something stupid. Ray smiled weakly. You're learning sarcasm again, huh? Correction, Unit 9 said. I learned it from you. Ray looked back at the signal screen. The coordinates blinked slowly. A planet marked only as Sigma 13. Long thought destroyed by the alien swarm known as the Vorex. No one had ever returned from there. He thought for a moment, then said quietly, Set course for Sigma 13. Unit 9 paused. That system is unstable. The gravity field alone could tear us apart. Then let's hope our luck isn't. The engines of Aurora 7 roared to life. For the first time in months, the ship had a destination. Hours passed as they entered the uncharted zone. Stars disappeared, replaced by a dark mist that swallowed light. The navigation systems glitched. Strange whispers came through the comms. Ghost signals, echoes of lost transmissions. Ray rubbed his eyes. Feels like we're flying through the graveyard of the galaxy. Correction, Unit 9 replied. We are. Suddenly the ship shook violently. Warnings flashed red across the console. Gravitational anomaly detected. Unit 9 shouted. Ray grabbed the controls, trying to stabilize the ship. Where did that come from? Unknown source. It's pulling us in. The Aurora 7 spun as if caught by an invisible hand. Outside, the stars twisted, bending into a tunnel of white light. Ray's hand slipped on the console. Brace! He yelled. The ship plunged into the anomaly. Everything went dark. When Ray woke, his head ached and his ears rang. Smoke filled the cockpit. Sparks danced from broken panels. He coughed and looked around. Unit 9. You still with me? The robot's voice came through the static. System. Functional. Mostly. We crashed, Captain. Ray forced open the emergency hatch. A hot, dry wind hit his face. He stepped out and froze. They were standing on a vast metallic desert. The ground wasn't sand, but fine, shining dust. The remains of machines. The sky glowed orange, filled with clouds of broken satellites orbiting the dead planet. Unit 9 joined him, its heavy feet crunching on the metal sand. Welcome to Sigma 13, it said quietly. Ray's eyes scanned the horizon. Wrecked ships, human and alien, lay half-buried like tombstones. The place felt ancient and haunted. He spoke softly. So many lives. Gone? Captain, Unit 9 interrupted. I'm detecting power readings beneath the surface. Ray knelt and touched the ground. It vibrated faintly, like a heartbeat under steel. Then, from far away, something moved, a shadow. Massive, slow, and mechanical, it rose from the desert like a mountain of gears, its eyes glowing blue. Dust rolled off its surface as it took a heavy step forward. Ray's breath caught in his throat. Unit 9. Tell me that's not what I think it is. The robot's sensors hummed. Affirmative, Captain. That is a Titan. The massive machine turned its head toward them. For a brief moment, its glowing eyes locked onto Ray's, as if it recognized him. Then the ground shook again. The Titan let out a low, thunderous sound, a roar mixed with metal grinding against metal. In the distance, more shapes began to rise, one by one, awakening from the sands. Ray felt his pulse race. The old human base, the lost war, the mysterious signal. It all made sense now. Something had survived here. Something powerful. Something waiting. He looked at the robot. Unit 9, we just opened a grave. Correction, Unit 9 replied, scanning the horizon. Her grave that is waking up. The camera of the story would pull back here, showing the broken planet, the crashed ship, and the growing army of Titans rising under the red sky, and in the silence between their footsteps. The old signal whispered once more through the radio. If you're hearing this, humanity's last hope is still alive. The red sky hung heavy over the metallic desert. Captain Ray Carter stood beside the smoking wreck of Aurora 7, staring at the giant shape that had vanished into the fog. The sound of its footsteps still echoed across the empty horizon. For a long moment, neither Ray nor Unit 9 spoke. Only the cold wind moved, carrying the whisper of old machines buried beneath the sand. Finally, Ray broke the silence. Something woke them up, he said quietly. That signal wasn't just a message, it was a key. Unit 9's red eye flickered as it scanned the surroundings. Energy readings rising. Source located, 1.6 kilometers northeast. Ray checked the oxygen levels on his wrist display. Then that's where we're going. The two began walking through the metallic dunes. Every step echoed like a hollow drum. Around them lay wrecks of old human ships. Rusted, torn apart, their flags faded to gray. Ray stopped beside one and brushed off the dust. UNS Vanguard, he read. These ships were from the first wave of the war. Over 3 centuries ago, Unit 9 crouched and picked up a shattered human helmet. Their technology is primitive by our standards, but their courage was not. Ray gave a half smile. You sound almost proud. Correction, the robot replied. I was built to serve humans. Pride is optional. As they walked further, the desert began to change. The ground grew harder, smoother, less like dust, more like metal plating. Strange towers rose from the earth, half buried but still glowing faintly with blue light. This was no ordinary planet, Ray murmured. It was built, Unit 9 nodded. Planet Sigma-13 was recorded as Human Command Base Sigma during the Galactic War. A fortress world, Ray frowned. Then why destroy their own base? Before Unit 9 could answer, the ground beneath them trembled. A panel of metal split open, revealing a narrow stairway leading down into darkness. Ray raised his blaster. Looks like an invitation. Unit 9's sensors scanned below. Energy source confirmed. No life forms detected. Then let's find out what's still alive down there. They descended carefully. The air grew colder, the light dimmer. The walls were lined with ancient circuits and faded symbols of the human fleet. After a few minutes, they reached a sealed steel door covered in dust and burn marks. Ray wiped off a panel and found a manual switch. He turned to Unit 9. Can you override it? The robot's fingers transformed into tools, sparks flying as it hacked the control pad. Access granted. Though the system is resisting, the door groaned open, revealing a large underground hall. Inside were hundreds of pods, old cryo chambers filled with dust and broken glass. Ray's heart sank. They tried to save themselves. Unit 9 scanned the pods. All occupants deceased. Time of death estimated 312 years ago. Ray walked between the silent rows, touching one of the pods gently. They fought for the galaxy, and no one even remembers their names. Then a soft hum filled the room. One pod at the far end flickered to life. Captain, Unit 9 said sharply, energy spike detected. The pod opened with a hiss, revealing not a human, but a glowing AI core, shaped like a floating sphere of light. It hovered in the air, its voice old yet calm. Commander Ray Carter, it said. You have finally returned. Ray froze. You know my name? The AI's light brightened. Identity confirmed through genetic signature. You carry the DNA of Commander Eric Carter, last leader of Human Command Base Sigma. Ray's breath caught. Eric Carter was my ancestor, the AI continued. Then the bloodline survives. The Vorex will return soon and the defense systems must awaken. Unit 9 stepped forward. Explain. The Vorex were destroyed centuries ago. Negative, the AI replied. Only delayed. Their swarm is rebuilding. They seek to erase all remnants of human creation. The AI projected a holographic map of the galaxy, red zones spreading across it like fire. At the center blinked Sigma-13. Ray watched in silence, his stomach tightening. Then this planet is their next target. Affirmative, the AI said. You must reach the core chamber. The last weapon of humanity sleeps there. Only a human can activate it, Ray frowned. Why me? Because, the AI said softly, you are the last one left. Suddenly, alarms echoed through the bunker. Red lights flashed. Unit 9 sensors screamed. Multiple signals approaching, men fast. Ray turned to the AI. What's happening? The AI's tone changed, sharp, urgent. The signal that awakened me has also awakened them. The ground shook violently. Dust fell from the ceiling. From above, muffled roars echoed. Metallic and distant like thunder made of steel. Unit 9 read the scanner. Unknown contacts. Size and shape match Vorex drones. Ray grabbed his blaster. We've got company. The AI's voice rose. You must reach the surface control tower. I will open the upper gates. Do it, Ray said, sprinting toward the exit. They ran through the flickering tunnels as the sounds of metal claws scraped closer. The air filled with smoke and the stench of burning circuits. Behind them, the bunker lights died one by one. As they burst out of the underground door, the red sky had turned darker, burning clouds swirling above. Unit 9 stopped. Captain, look. Ray followed its gaze. Far in the distance, shapes were descending from orbit, black, sharp, insect-like ships with glowing red eyes. The Vorex swarm had found them. The signal hadn't saved them. It had led them straight into the storm. The AI's voice echoed faintly through their comms. Run, Commander Carter. The first wave has begun. Ray gripped his blaster tighter. Then let's make sure they regret waking us. The wind howled across the desert as the first swarm screamed down from the clouds, their red lights reflecting off the metal sands. Unit 9 systems whirred to full power. Captain, it said, voice steady and cold, shall we show them what humans are made of? Ray smiled grimly. Yeah, let's remind them. The camera would pull wide in showing Ray and Unit 9 standing together beneath the blood-red sky as the alien swarm descended. Two small figures facing an entire army, and in the background, the old signal whispered again through static. If you're hearing this, humanity's last hope is still alive. The red sky exploded with light. Ray Carter raised his arm to block the glare as burning streaks fell from orbit, Vorex drones raining down like metal comets. Each one screamed through the clouds and smashed into the ground, sending waves of dust and fire across the metallic desert. Unit 9 sensors blazed red. Enemy count. Too many to calculate. Ray loaded his plasma rifle. Then we stopped counting. The first swarm appeared, spider-like machines with glowing red cores moving fast across the dunes. Their metal legs cut through the ground like blades. Contact! Ray shouted, opening fire. Blue plasma bolts tore through the first few drones. Unit 9 joined in, its shoulder cannon firing rapid bursts. The air filled with smoke, sparks, and the echo of gunfire. But for every drone they destroyed, two more appeared. Captain, Unit 9 warned. We are surrounded. Ray took cover behind a half-buried shipwreck. Then we fight our way out. He fired again and again, his weapon glowing red-hot. A drone leapt at him, claws flashing, but Unit 9 smashed it mid-air with a single punch, its metal fist breaking the creature apart. Ray grinned. Remind me never to arm wrestle you. Reminder saved, the robot replied. A sudden explosion threw both of them back. Dust filled the air. When it cleared, Ray saw a massive structure rising in the distance. A huge metal tower half buried in the ground, glowing with blue lines of energy. Unit 9's eye focused on it. Captain, that tower... It's transmitting power. That's the old Titan control hub. Ray looked at it and felt a spark of hope. Then maybe it's time we borrowed some old power. They sprinted toward the tower, dodging explosions and debris. Drones swarmed around them, firing red beams that scorched the ground. Unit 9 covered Ray with precise bursts of fire, cutting down enemies one by one. As they reached the base of the tower, Ray found a circular door sealed shut. He slammed his hand on the panel. Open, damn it! The AI's voice suddenly echoed through his communicator, faint but clear. "Commander Carter, the Titans can still be activated, but only with a human signal." Ray looked up at the tower, realizing what she meant. "You mean me?" "Affirmative," the AI replied. "You carry the genetic key. Reach the top and synchronize." Unit 9 turned to him. "Captain, I can hold them here." Ray shook his head. "No, we do this together." They climbed the inner stairway of the control tower step by step as the battle raged outside. Through the broken windows, Ray could see explosions lighting the desert like stars being born and dying again. Finally, they reached the top, a large control platform with a glowing console and ancient holographic screens. Ray approached the console. The AI's image appeared, her light flickering. "The Titans were the last defense of humanity," she said. "Giant war machines built to fight the Vorex, but they needed a human mind." "And a robotic heart," Ray frowned. "What does that mean?" "It means," Unit 9 said slowly, "we both must connect." The robot stepped forward and placed its hand on the console. Sparks of blue light ran through its body. "My neural system can interface with the Titan core." Ray nodded. "And my DNA unlocks it." The AI's voice softened. "Once linked, your minds will merge with the Titan network. You must be careful. It can consume you." Ray smiled slightly. "I've been consumed by worse." He placed his hand next to Unit 9's. The console glowed bright. A surge of power shot through the tower. The ground below trembled. Then, in the distance, something stirred. Across the metallic desert, giant shapes began to rise. The Titans, massive human-built war machines, broke free from centuries of sand and silence. Their eyes blazed blue, their armor glowing with ancient runes. The ground shook as they took their first steps in 300 years. The Vorex swarm stopped, their red lights flickering with sudden fear. From the tower, Ray and Unit 9 could see the awakening army. Unit 9's voice buzzed through the comms. "Connection stable. I can interface with Titan Alpha." "Then do it," Ray shouted. The nearest Titan, a giant machine shaped like a knight of steel, turned its head toward them. Its eyes glowed brighter. Unit 9's systems synced instantly. "I have control," Unit 9 said. "Captain, I can fight them." "Then let's wake the rest," Ray replied, pressing another sequence on the console. Lightning flashed across the sky as more Titans rose, forming a wall of blue light. The Vorex drones attacked, but the Titans struck back. One swing from a Titan's arm sent dozens of drones flying like broken glass. The desert became a battlefield of gods. Ray watched in awe as humanity's forgotten weapons roared to life once again. "So this is what they left behind." Unit 9's voice came through, strong and fierce. "Humanity built Titans not to conquer, but to survive." But the victory didn't last long. A deep rumble shook the planet. The AI's voice turned urgent again. "Commander Carter, the Titan's power is draining. You must reach the core chamber and activate Project Dawnfire before the Vorex Mother Fleet arrives." Ray's eyes widened. "Project Dawnfire? What is it?" The AI's tone darkened. "The last human weapon. A light strong enough to cleanse the galaxy, or destroy it." Unit 9 disengaged from the Titan. "Then that's our next mission." Ray nodded, watching as the Titans continued to fight. "They'll hold them off. We move now." He turned toward the horizon, toward the deep fissure glowing in the distance. That was the way to the planet's core. The AI's final words echoed in their helmets. "Commander, remember, only a human can awaken Dawnfire. But it will demand everything." Ray didn't answer. He just tightened his grip on his rifle and began walking. Beside him, Unit 9 followed, unsilent, steady, loyal. Behind them, the Titans kept fighting, their lights blazing against the storm of alien machines. The sky above burned with fire, but the ground still held the heartbeat of human courage. As they descended toward the core tunnels, Ray looked once more at the battlefield behind him. "Unit 9, he said quietly, "you ever wonder why humans never give up?" The robot paused. "Because giving up," it replied, "is something only the living can do." Ray smiled faintly. "Then let's make sure we stay that way." They disappeared into the darkness, one human, one robot, walking toward the heart of a dead world and the weapon that could save or end the galaxy. And far above, among the burning clouds, the faint human voice from the signal whispered once again, "If you're hearing this, Humanity's last hope is still alive. The entrance to the core was a wound in the earth, a wide metallic canyon glowing faintly with blue light. Ray Carter stood at its edge, staring down into the endless dark. Far above, the sound of battle still rumbled, titans against the Vorex swarm, but here everything was silent. Unit 9 adjusted its sensors. Core entrance detected 1,000 meters below. Radiation minimal. Structural stability low. Ray grinned slightly. So basically it's a death trap. Affirmative, Unit 9 replied. Ray tightened the straps on his gear. Then let's walk in like we own the place. They descended through a narrow passage that spiraled deep into the planet's crust. The walls were covered in old machinery, pipes, circuits, and symbols written in ancient human code. Some still flickered weakly with light, as if the world itself was trying to remember it once lived. As they went lower, the air grew warm and heavy. Steam hissed from vents. The sound of machinery hummed below, like the slow heartbeat of a sleeping giant. Ray ran his hand along the wall. 300 years and this place is still running, Unit 9 replied. Human engineering. Inefficient, yet somehow eternal. Ray smirked. I'll take that as a compliment. They reached a wide chamber lit by blue crystals. In the center stood a massive elevator platform, half broken but still active. Destination, Unit 9 said, scanning the console. Central core chamber. Ray stepped onto the platform. Then that's where we go. The platform shuddered and began to descend. The lights dimmed. The deeper they went, the louder the hum became until it felt like the planet itself was breathing around them. Halfway down, the platform stopped suddenly. Unit 9's sensors blared. Warning, movement below us. A mechanical screech echoed through the shaft. From the darkness, Vorex drones crawled up the walls, glowing red eyes burning like fire. Ray aimed his rifle. Guess they didn't want us to feel lonely. He opened fire, blue bolts lighting the tunnel. Drones shattered and fell, but more climbed from below. One leapt onto the platform, its claws slicing at Ray's shoulder. Unit 9 grabbed it and tore it apart with a twist of its arm. Captain, there are too many! Ray gritted his teeth. Then we jump. Before the robot could respond, Ray pulled the emergency release. The platform dropped like a stone, falling straight down the shaft. Wind howled around them. Carter, Unit 9 shouted over the noise. This is not a controlled descent. Ray grinned. Wasn't supposed to be. They hit the bottom hard. The platform cracked, but somehow they survived. Sparks danced around them. They had arrived at the core chamber. The place was massive, a hollow world beneath the planet's surface. Towers of silver metal rose high, connected by streams of light. At the center stood a giant sphere floating in mid-air, glowing gold and blue. The core of Sigma-13, Ray stared, speechless. It's beautiful. Unit 9 scanned it. Power levels beyond measurable range. This must be Project Dawnfire. They approached the sphere slowly. The air around it vibrated. Rays of light danced like fireflies, brushing Ray's armor. Then the AI's voice filled the chamber. You have reached the heart of humanity, Commander Carter. The golden light shifted, forming the image of the AI, calm, almost human. Ray lowered his weapon. So this is it. The weapon that can save the galaxy. Yes, she said softly. Project Dawnfire was built to unleash the energy of a star. It can erase the Vorex swarm. But the core requires a living link. Ray frowned. Explain. A human life force must merge with it. The core was designed to draw energy from human DNA. It will consume the host, but ignite the weapon. Ray froze. You mean whoever starts it dies? Affirmative, the AI said. Only through sacrifice can the galaxy live. Silence filled the chamber. The only sound was the slow hum of the core. Unit 9 turned toward Ray. Captain, there must be another way. Ray gave a tired smile. There never is there? Your life has tactical value, Unit 9 said firmly. Mine does not. Ray laughed softly. That's not how humans see it, partner. He stepped closer to the core. The golden light reflected in his eyes. You said it yourself, Unit 9. Humans are inefficient, yet eternal. Maybe this is why. The robot grabbed his arm. Ray, don't. He looked at the metal hand on his sleeve and smiled faintly. You called me by my name. Unit 9's voice glitched slightly. Emotion detected. Error. Ray placed a hand on the robot's shoulder. If this works, you'll have to finish the mission. Get out. Tell whoever's left that humanity fought till the end. Unit 9's grip tightened. I will not allow this. Ray looked into the glowing sphere. Then stop me. For a long moment, the robot didn't move. Its red eye dimmed. Then slowly it released him. You taught me what choice means, Unit 9 said quietly. Now I choose to trust you. Ray nodded once. Grateful, he walked to the core. The light grew brighter, wrapping around him like flames. The AI's voice filled the chamber again. Humanity's legacy begins with courage and ends with hope. Are you ready, Commander Carter? Ray closed his eyes. Always. He stepped into the golden light. Alarms blared. Energy flooded through the chamber, shaking the ground. The entire planet trembled. Unit 9 fell back as the light engulfed Ray completely. His voice echoed through the comms, soft but steady. Unit 9, promise me one thing. Anything, the robot said. Don't let it end here. Not for us. Not for anyone. Then his voice faded, replaced by the rising hum of the core. The AI's voice whispered, Project Dawnfire. Initializing. The golden sphere pulsed brighter and brighter until it became a miniature sun. The whole planet shook as ancient systems came alive. Unit 9 shielded its eyes, staring at the light that had once been its friend. Goodbye, Captain. Far above, the Titans paused in battle as a golden glow spread across the sky. The Vorex swarm froze, sensing the rising energy, and from deep below, a beam of light shot upward, cutting through the red clouds, piercing the darkness of space. It was the light of a star and the birth of Dawnfire. Humanity's final hope had awakened. The desert sky above Sigma 13 burned red and gold. Ray Carter's body had disappeared into the core, but his presence still hummed through the air. Project Dawnfire had awakened, and the golden light now stretched across the horizon, bright enough to rival the stars themselves. Unit 9 stood on the edge of a jagged cliff, watching as the Titans below fought desperately to hold back the Vorex swarm. The alien machines hesitated, their red cores flickering as the rising light touched them. Unit 9's sensors tracked every movement. Captain, your sacrifice is working. The weapon is destabilizing the swarm. The robot's voice was quiet, almost human. You did what humans always do. Fight even when all hope is gone. From above, streaks of golden energy shot across the battlefield, each beam targeting clusters of Vorex drones. The Titans roared with renewed power, their limbs glowing with blue light, as if the humans who built them were guiding them from beyond. In the midst of the chaos, Unit 9's comms crackled. It was the AI, Commander Carter. Energy levels are at maximum. Dawnfire is ready to release its final pulse. Unit 9 processed the data. Captain, you are the only one who can complete the activation. You will not survive the process. Ray's voice echoed faintly through the comms. I know. Unit 9's red eye flickered. Do not do this alone. Ray laughed softly, a sound that carried no fear. It's what humans do. We fight for each other, even when it costs everything. The Titans pushed forward as the Vorex swarm attempted a final strike. Metallic claws and glowing blades tore through the desert, but the aliens faltered under the golden light. Ray's energy flowed from the core, connecting with every Titan, every ancient weapon, every beacon left by humans. His DNA, his life became a bridge, a spark of humanity reaching out across the galaxy. Unit 9 watched in awe as the Titans' movements became faster, sharper, almost alive. They were no longer machines. They were human determination made flesh. Captain, you are now the weapon, Unit 9 said softly. The galaxy will remember you. Ray's voice was steady, calm. Then let it be a story of hope, not fear. Outside, the Vorex mother fleet appeared. Massive black ships, their engines glowing red, descending towards Sigma 13 like a swarm of locusts. Their commanders thought they had the humans cornered, but then came the final pulse. From the core, a beam of golden light erupted into space, stretching across the galaxy. Stars seemed to brighten as the energy wave swept through the Vorex fleet. Red lights blinked and died. Ships shattered from the inside out, torn apart by a force they could not understand. A force born from humanity's courage, ingenuity, and will to survive. Unit 9 shielded its senses as the golden light washed over the battlefield. When the light receded, the Vorex ships were gone. Only silent wreckage floated in space. The Titan stood victorious but weary. The desert was littered with broken alien machines. Smoke rose from the sand, but the golden light bathed everything in warmth. Unit 9 lowered its head. "It's over." "Thanks to you, Captain." Ray's voice, faint now, echoed one last time through the core. "If one human can make a difference, imagine what we all can do." Days later, the dust settled. Sigma 13 was silent once more. The Titans, their masters gone, walked slowly back into the desert, returning to the depths from which they had awoken. Unit 9 repaired the Aurora 7 as best it could. The robot's systems were strained but operational. It activated the ship and looked at the stars, a sky cleared of the red threat, peaceful once more. "Captain," Unit 9 said softly to the empty cockpit, "you always believed humans could rise. And now, son, I believe too." The AI's voice echoed from the ship's systems. "Humanity's spark will never die. The galaxy will remember. Your fight has inspired those yet to come." Unit 9's eye dimmed slightly, a hint of sorrow in its mechanical tone. "Then I will carry the story. One human, one robot, one mission completed." The robot set a course for the nearest human outpost, carrying the memory of the last hero who had walked Sigma 13. The stars stretched endlessly ahead, full of life, full of possibility. As the ship moved through space, the golden pulse from Project Dawnfire continued to ripple outward, touching every distant system, every hidden world, every corner of the galaxy. Somewhere, survivors looked up at the night sky and felt warmth, a spark of hope that had been lost for centuries. They did not yet know the face of the hero who had saved them, but the story would travel, whispered from world to world. If you are hearing this, humanity's last hope is still alive, and in the heart of Unit 9, the echo of Ray Carter lived on, not as a soldier, not as a pilot, but as the symbol of what it meant to be human, fearless, selfless and unyielding. The galaxy had been saved. Humanity's light had returned, one human, one robot.